We demoted Pat Shurmur, and the first game under new leadership looked like more of the same, just in a different voice. It was deja vu in Boulder. So, what exactly changed? Because when I watched that Arizona beatdown, it felt like the same sad script with a new narrator.
My OnlyFans is now 20% off.
Weirdos are gonna come after y'all.
Prime got draws, man. What's wrong with y'all? Prime got draws with great packaging.
Oh no. I don't know who told you that.
The demotion that didn't change a damn thing, but maybe, just maybe, it's the start of something special. All right, Buff Nation, let's talk about it. Because my brain's been in a blender ever since I heard the news. And after thinking it over, I don't think I heard it right. Pat Shurmur got stripped of his play calling duties. Hallelujah, right? Finally, the move everyone and their grandma on Twitter has been begging for since September. But then, reality hits harder than a Travis Hunter highlight reel. Brett Bartolone, our tight ends coach, was the one calling plays against Arizona. Let that sink in for a minute. We demoted Pat Shurmur, and the first game under new leadership looked like more of the same, just in a different voice. It was deja vu in Boulder. So, what exactly changed? Because when I watched that Arizona beatdown, it felt like the same sad script with a new narrator. First drive, 3 and out. Second drive, fumble. Third drive, interception. By the time halftime hit, I was halfway through questioning every life decision that led me to still care this much about Colorado football. If Brett Bartolone really called that game, Buff Nation's collective blood pressure went up for nothing. It's like we were promised a new car, and when we lifted the cover, it was just the same old ride with a fresh air freshener that says, hope. Pat's gone, but the problems ain't. And now, don't get me wrong, Pat Shurmur needed to go. This man turned our offense into a PowerPoint presentation on how not to score points. Screens on 3rd and 15, empty sets with no blocking, confused looks from quarterbacks like someone changed the Wi-Fi password mid-snap. So yeah, we celebrated the demotion. We had every right to. But what does it mean when the next man up, Bartolone, takes the wheel and drives us right into another wall? Because the offense against Arizona didn't just struggle, it flatlined. The creativity wasn't there. The spark wasn't there. The confidence wasn't there. It was like watching a magician pull a rabbit out of a hat and realizing it's just a stuffed animal. Coach Prime's poker face. Then came Coach Prime's weekly press conference, and man, he had that sly grin again. When asked if he'd made staff changes, he said, "What if I have already made changes behind the scenes? I don't do things publicly. It's your job to figure it out if I made the change or not." So let me get this straight. You know who's calling plays? We know who's calling plays, but the rest of the world's supposed to play Scooby-Doo. And guess? Coach, I love you, but Buff Nation doesn't need mystery. We need touchdowns. I guess the silver lining is maybe it's growing pains. Here's where I'll give a little hope, because even though it feels like we're stuck in a loop of heartbreak, there is something deeper happening. Bartolone might not have looked great in his first outing, but sometimes change doesn't click overnight. He's a younger coach, more connected to the players, and maybe, just maybe, this was the shock the offense needed to find a new rhythm. Let's be honest, this team's been through hell. Quarterback changes, injuries, endless criticism. At some point, you stop reacting and just start surviving. Maybe this reset is what wakes everyone up, because when you're at rock bottom, the next move can't be down. It can only be up. I get it. We're all tired. Tired of hearing we had a great week of practice. Tired of hearing we just got to execute. Tired of watching the same movie every Saturday and pretending it's a sequel. But don't forget why we're here. Coach Prime didn't come to Boulder to babysit mediocrity. He came to build something that lasts. And yeah, the growing pains are ugly. The mistakes are costly. The losses are brutal. But you don't grow without friction. If Bartolone can find rhythm, if he can take this offense from flat to fearless, this could be the moment we look back on as the turning point. Because sometimes real change doesn't look like fireworks. It looks like frustration first. So no, I'm not jumping up and down about Pat Shurmur's demotion, not when the offense still looked like a car with 3 flat tires. But I'll take any sign that the wheels are finally turning in a new direction. And if Bartolone can learn from that Arizona nightmare and bring some juice to these last few games, then maybe, just maybe, this wasn't a meaningless move. It was the spark before the fire. Because Buff Nation doesn't need another excuse. We just need hope that all this pain means something. And if we see even one game of clean execution, smart play calling, and real swagger, then maybe, just maybe, we'll finally say it for real. Change has arrived in Boulder. I guess